Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Forgotten Gear Restorations. This is only the 15th attempt at a voiceover. Why? Noisy environment. People screaming, the sound of horns, racing engines, the helicopters, the whole thing. 2204 clone needs an additional gain stage. What does that mean? It means I'm going to put one in there. I really like the work that the owner did putting his clone together. He said it's his first one. Hard to tell. Looks beautiful. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do the whole thing. Thanks. I worked on one of your basemen a while back. You shipped it over. I modified it for you. I guess you dug it. You made yourself a Modulus 2204 clone. And let me tell you, I've seen about 3 clones this month so far, which is crazy. And this is one of the cleanest builds that I've seen. And that says a lot, dude. And you're saying this is your first build? That's insane. You've got some skills, my friend. So you've asked me, just for everyone else's edification, you've asked me to implement an additional gain stage. You already had the additional tube socket populated with a socket, and you've already run the heater wires, which was hugely helpful, so thanks for that. And I noticed that that you put it in the V2 position, which moves the whole that other gain stage and the cathode follower over to a V3, which is actually great because it shortens the lead runs for that particular socket. It always made more sense to be in the V3 position, but it's just the way it always worked out. It was never a problem, by the way. It just looks nicer. Let's be real. So here's what we had going in. You had implemented. I know you have a resonance control around back. And on the front, you have a 3-way toggle to select between one bright value off and then another bright value. This was over here. What I did was, since these holes are already punched out, all I did was drill through the faceplate to be able to install what you had here. This switch here is 3-way Carling Mini. So I do find that there's a little too much tension for my liking on one of the leads, so I'm just going to extend it so it's nice. We're not going to have an issue with a break over time. And in this punch here, I'm going to place a double pole, double throw switch. And that's going to handle switching in the additional gain stage. You're going to retain use of the high and low jacks here throughout in either mode. And in addition, since there's 2 punch outs here, what I'm going to do is, in the lower one here, I'm going to put a 1 meg pot that you can use to control the preamp gain there. Only that additional gain stage, mind you. And here's a cool little trick that I just figured out. You guys probably already knew this, but it's harrowing to see a beautiful faceplate like this, knowing that you got to drill holes in it. So check this out. So I'm assuming you have a center punch or some kind of scribe. So watch this. You just put a flashlight back there. There you go. You just mark the center of whichever one of these you're going to use, then you drill a pilot hole, and then that's that. It worked wonders on this guy. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll show you what I did. I have my own way of implementing gain stages using a terminal strip. In order for me to do it is having as little additional noise as possible in the way of hiss oscillations or hum or what have you. Everyone's got their own way of doing it. I've got mine. The circuit itself is just a basic gain stage. There's no secret sauce here. This is no Jose or Antonio mod here. This is just a basic gain stage with Marshall values. And I'll sweep it over the top and show you what I've got so far. So stand by. There's no way that I could use my camera mount to get this angle. So I'm going to sweep you guys over so you can take a look at what I did. This is a 4-terminal or 5-terminal strip here that I have mounted to one of the tube socket retention bolts. And this portion here is all running. This is the ground situation for this gain stage. So, and it's going to this local preamp node here. And what we have here is we have a 10K decoupling resistor. Then we have a 220K plate load. So hard to get this in there. We have, on this end, we have the cathode bypass cap, and we have the resistor there and the standard Marshall values. We have a 1 meg grid leak right there at the bottom of the socket, and then we have the 68K grid resistor there for the input. This, we're gonna have the shield going there, shielded cable there. This is gonna get moved up before I do all that. I just wanted to kind of see how it would fab up. So that's what we're looking at so far. Oh, and this here, you don't want to keep the unused triodes elements floating, meaning like the grid plate and the cathode. So what you want to do is you want to ground, you want to tie the grid to the cathode and then the plate to the cathode, and then take the cathode and run it to that ground node there. And that's going to stop it from coupling any noise into the circuit. So that's a little trick that you don't see done a lot. Even though it's not powered, there's a triode that's going to be plugged into that side, and it's going to have some effect. So why not just take that noise out of the equation? And it's all going to the local ground node there. So what I have to do is I'll be popping off, and it's all going to be inserted over by the cold clipper stage. That's where it's going to be severed. For the output will be going into there, and then obviously we'll break it off of this coupling cap over here. And when we do our wiring, and then we're going to have we'll have a resistor going to ground that'll keep that coupling cap charged up, so we don't have any popping when we're actuating the channel selection switch. Or I don't want to call it a channel switch, but I guess it kind of is. So that's it for now. I got some parts coming in. Scott, like I said, I accidentally scratched this little finishing nut there. So I got a replacement coming in for that one, and then I have an additional one for this guy right here. And then we're gonna have a nice balanced look, and I'm really excited. I ordered another Marshall knob with a set screw. I'm super excited to get this going. Hope y'all take care out there.